Welcome to my leather kitchen, and we're going to start a new journey into food from a leather perspective. I say that from a leather perspective because I had been the head of a house, a leather house that had about 17 extended family members, and for over 6 years we hosted a play party in our dungeons in that home. Plus I cooked for leather folk during that time period. So organizing the potlucks and getting ready for the play parties is one aspect of what this evolving playlist is going to be about. And, you know, many of you go to parties every month and you have to figure out what you're going to take to the party if there is one. I do have a video on bringing something to the table, which I think is important in leather and in the leather community, that you always are considerate of your hosts and be thankful that you've gotten an invite, and always show up with something in some form. So currently we have myself, my submissive, and Lady Sally living in the house. And anytime you're cooking for multiple dominants, multiple submissives, everyone has different tastes. Lady Sally doesn't like really spicy foods. Moodstone's type 1 diabetic, so I have to watch how much sugar I use in my food. Some of you are wondering, well, probably why the dominant's doing the cooking. Well, it's my house, my kitchen, and I like to cook. And you know, one of the side stories of that was during my first marriage when I was in my 20s, and I think probably a lot of you can relate to this. My wife wanted to go out to eat all the time and was in love with fast food. So we went out a lot, and when you're in your 20s and you don't have a whole lot of money, often you find yourself where you can't go out. You have to cook at home. You have to do something. So I actually learned to cook from the challenge my first wife would give me. There's nothing in the house to eat. And that would be my challenge, to go into the pantry and go into the refrigerator and create something that we could have for dinner that wouldn't take us out to McDonald's. So to make a long story short, we're going to do some short videos and give you some ideas on what it's like to cook in a leather house, what it's like to cook for a wide variety of tastes, and then also some party ideas, some things that you can make that are easily transportable, that are going to be hits at whatever dungeon party or house party that you're invited to. So today we're just simply doing some ribs. Lady Sally and Moodstone are off working on her bus. She's converting a school bus to live in. And I'm at home making ribs. And I started these ribs just simply by washing them in the sink, putting them in a big pot of water, and boiling them for about 20 minutes. We're going to just get them a little bit tender. I'm going to have to do some edits on this video. This is the first in this series, so pardon the cinematography here, the home cinematography. But we're going to take these ribs that we boiled. They're just Babyback ribs. I've got a full rack of them. Cut the rack in half so it would fit in the pot. Going to take those out. I'm going to put them in a foil pan. This foil pan happens to fit exactly in my smoker outside. And then I'm just going to take some butt rub, some Bad Byron's butt rub that I got at Sam's Club. And I'm going to do a dry rub on the ribs. Since they're just coming out of boiling water, they'll be moist. I won't need to put a binder on them. I don't need to put mustard or any kind of binder. So I'm just going to take those, put them in the pan, do a dry rub. You're not going to see that. When we come back, you'll see me setting up the smoker and how I smoke them. So stand by. More to follow. Welcome back. We're still in our process of making these Babyback ribs and smoking them off. First, now we're just going to take them out of the water here. And I like to put mine bone down, but I'm going to start with the bones up because I got to get a dry rub on them. And I kind of want to get that that goodness on both sides. So we're going to start with them down. I'll pour that water out later when you guys aren't engaged in the video. So here we go. We're going to put some butt rub. Just sprinkle some butt rub on here. Spread it around. Turn these over. There is a little bit of sugar in this butt rub. I checked the ingredients. So we're going to go with enough, but I'm not going to put it on so heavy that it'll affect Moodstone's sugar adversely. Moodstone's type 1 diabetic. We're going to do a little bit of butt rub here, get those going. Now, next, when you come back, you're going to see me put them in the smoker. I like to smoke them uncovered. You could cover them with foil. You could even take pink butcher wrap and wrap them. But I cover them uncovered and low and slow. We're going to put them on 210 degrees and let them go until dinner time. It's 12 o'clock. We're going to eat about 6 o'clock. So I'm looking at 5 or 6 hours smoking at a very slow temperature. We'll be right back. Here we go. We're out at the smoker. We're using a Masterbuilt Signature Series smoker today. It's an electric smoker. I've got apple wood in the bin. I've got me a pan of water here to have some moisture inside the smoker. I put my ribs in, put my probe in. Got everything set. I'm going to close this up. Now I've got my vent about half open. Turn it on. First thing we have to do is set the temperature. We're going to put it at 210. Then set the time. We're going to put in here 6 hours, but I will come and check it periodically. I'm going to take it to an internal temperature of 165, and then when it gets to 165, I'll pull them. Hopefully we'll be able to get a good smoke of at least 3 or 4 hours. The more smoke, the better, but I don't want to go over 165. I don't want to cook them so long that they dry out. We want them to be tender and falling off the bone. And so we'll come back and we'll see how they turn out. Thanks for watching The Leather Journey. Good morning and welcome to The Leather Journey. Just a little follow-up video on yesterday's first in a series of food, lifestyle food, leather food. We are going to tailor that playlist toward dishes that you can easily make that carry easily to a venue, to a house party, to a dungeon. Foods that are good for after play, to revitalize, put more energy back into you so you can maybe do another scene in the dungeon. And maybe a video or two on aftercare tidbits. But food is a part of the lifestyle. I'll do a separate playlist on food play, but food play is different than what we're doing here. So yesterday we smoked some ribs, and I showed you how I did that. The thumbnail shows you exactly how they turned out. I'm just going to give you a little feedback on what I got at the dinner table. Lady Sally and Moodstone loved them. You know, as I showed you yesterday, I just did a dry rub on them. I didn't put any barbecue sauce on them. The barbecue sauce was separate on the side. I personally douched mine down with some Trader Joe's jalapeno pepper hot sauce, which is just kind of like a Tabasco level hot sauce, although it has a great flavor. When I look at hot sauce personally, I look at the first ingredient. If the first ingredient's vinegar, I put it back on the shelf because I want my first ingredient to be some form of pepper mash, and all hot sauces have some vinegar in them for preservative. But at any rate, the ribs turned out good. Today we're smoking a brisket, but I wasn't set up to show you how I do that. I will do that in a future video. That's a promise. As always, thanks for watching The Leather Journey. Welcome. If you've made it this far, and you're at the end of the video watching this trailer, remember, subscribe, ring the bell, leave an appropriate comment, and consider joining my Patreon group. I think my Patreon group, the lowest level is $3 a month. If you're interested in leather houses, joining my leather house is done through my Patreon group. Consider joining the Patreon group and supporting the channel and showing that you love the content and encourage me to continue making more content. As always, thanks for watching The Leather Journey.